NASCAR SEGA Cup Series is here, back at Charlotte, once again under the lights, and we're getting ready for one of the longest races of the season here, the Coca-Cola 600. We're going to have lots of patriotic paint schemes here tonight, but one lucky driver out of these 42 are going to really try to do what they can to try to endure this long race here as the night goes on. Starting on the pole here, we have Nathan Ormond in the number 48. Right now he sits 13th in standings, and right beside him in second we have our winner from Ricky Raceway, Brayson Mitchell. Now the last time we were here at Charlotte Motor Speedway in the SEGA Cup Series, veteran driver Sean Henley ended up winning this race for Twinix Racing, and one of the drivers that he left the sport for, James McLeod, he's going to start this race in the 4th position. Teammate Dylan Poteet is not that far behind as he starts mid-pack, I believe, in the 13th position. These drivers are going to have to try to do whatever they can and see if they can endure this long one. We're going to be in here for a long one, 60 laps of racing. Now, what kind of racing will we see here? Who's going to be the first ones wrecked out, and who's going to try to benefit from pit strategy and come out on top here? We're just a couple of weeks away from our All-Star race, which this season is going to take place over at Texas Motor Speedway. So, until we get to that point, I believe there's still 2 more races until we get there, including this one. Well, we're just seconds away from those famous words in motorsports, so we can get this thing underway.
Drivers, start your engines!
Just like when we talked about the transporter. At the end of pit road, the last pit box is a timing line. So the last white line on pit exit is the line. Big thumbs up, my friend. Have a good time.
And as the drivers are rolling off pit road, here is your starting lineup for the Coca-Cola 600. Last time we saw the 48 in victory lane, I believe it was last season back at Kansas when Joshua Mudd drove for the 48, but this season he's in the 5, actually teammate to Nathan Ormond, as the pace car makes its way onto pit road. We got 42 drivers in 60 laps, and the crowd is ready, and I hope the rest of you guys watching are, as the green flag is now out. Heading into turns 3 and 4 for the first time here under green. Nathan Ormond, he's doing everything he can to run away with that lead, and he will without a doubt lead the first lap. And we're having a battle for second place now as Jessica Shelton, she moved to the inside of Brayson Mitchell, and she's trying to bring Nathan Hudson along with her in that number 6 car. 2 patriotic drivers going to the inside of Brayson Mitchell to try to get that second place spot as Nathan Ormond continues to run away with that lead. William Brock now sits comfortably in 5th place, and right behind him we have Danny Wells running his body armor colors on his number 12 here today. Danny Wells, he was in position to get a to get a top 10 finish, but unfortunately he and Steven Gonzalez ran out of gas, and he ended up finishing 23rd here. But he's running comfortably in the top 10 right now, as he's about to lose that position to Alex Ferranti. Now Alex Ferranti, he still sits 40th in standings, running that Mountain Dew Amp colors on his number 9 as we go to aerial coverage. Right now he comfortably sits behind Danny Wells as he is working on the inside of William Brock as he goes to the outside now. As we now head back to see James McLeod, who started this race in the 4th position. He's losing a couple of spots. He's about to get passed by Tim Fiegel and his teammate Dylan Poteet. Tim Fiegel running those Bass Pro Shop patriotic colors on his 19. Sorry about that. And oh man, I think we just had a lead change in the front. Jessica Shelton, with the help of Nathan Hudson, she's trying to look to the inside to try to get the lead from the 48, but Nathan Orman, he continues to fight on that outside. And he will, without a doubt, keep that lead. And I think the caution's out. Yes, it is. The caution is out. We had an accident somewhere. And oh no, RJ Bishop. Oh man, we had a few drivers in trouble. RJ Bishop sits on pit road. There's Dustin Stoller. And oh no, there's Joshua Mudd. Oh man, blows an engine last week, and this week he ends up getting into another wreck. And oh no, Steven Gonzalez, the driver who ran out of gas last week while he was going for the lead. And oh man, it looks like we had another accident, or that may have been the same one from the last lap. And there's some front end damage to the 98 of Aaron Macklin, and there's a little bit of rear damage to the number 40 of Christina Bell. And oh man, front end damage to Mitchell Collins. Mitchell Collins, he's 5th in the standings. And there's some damage to our points leader, Jonathan Zorlin. Oh man, we had a lot of drivers get into an accident. And it looks like everyone's coming down pit road except for Kyle Matthews. But we're going to have to go to the replays and take a look and see what happened to break our first caution of the night. So stay tuned, race fans. Well, here's having to brought out our first caution of the night. Heading into turns 1 and 2, it looks like that Brandon Craster in the 23 just gets hooked by the 27 of Matt McIntyre. And both drivers go down under the apron. And once you go under that apron, you have like zero grip. And up ahead, we have some more contact. But this is the meat of the problem right here, as Joshua Mudd gets into the wall, and it's just a huge chain reaction. And oh man, Dustin Stoller, he ends up flipping over on his side. Oh man, we had a lot of drivers involved. Last week's winner Zachary Fitzwater is involved. Steven Gonzalez is in it. Mitchell Collins, Joshua Osborne. Oh man, Steven Gonzalez, he's just stuck in the middle of all this. Alex Drayton is in it, and up ahead there's Aaron Macklin and Dylan Young in the Blue Deuce. He also got involved. I'm gonna have to bring it back and see like what all happened to the second pack here. And I'm trying to see if there's anything. Oh yes, right here, further back, Zachary Fitzwater actually gets hooked by Steven Gonzalez here. I believe this was all of them just trying to avoid, but like I said, once you get under that apron, you have like no grip there. And Dustin Stoller ended up getting flipped over because he got clobbered by Levi McIntyre in the 60 car. And I'm trying to see up ahead. There's Dylan Young, Jonathan Zorlin, Simon Oscon, and his teammate Aaron Macklin. Okay, it looks like Ryan Acosta, he actually hooks the 43. Right there. Acosta hooks the 43, and once again, if you touch that apron, you have no grip. The 43's wheels lock up, and Dylan Young, he had absolutely nowhere to go. He was just stuck on the high side. Simon Oscon gets into his teammate as the 78 smacks the wall. Got a few drivers going onto the apron, but slowing down to avoid him. Let's see, Allison Rain, James Qualls, Jake Rogers being one of them, as Acosta ends up driving away but still gets a bit of damage. But oh man, it looks like we already may have a few drivers out of this thing. And here we are back at Charlotte. We're going to restart on lap number 10. We're already a few laps down, and we have a few drivers who are now out of this race. They are RJ Bishop, Dustin Stuller, Joshua Mudd, Dylan Young, Brandon Crasta, Alex Drayden, Steven Gonzalez, and Mitchell Collins. Kyle Matthews and Levi McIntyre are one lap down. Our top 10, once we get back underway, goes as follows. Nathan Ormond is still the race leader. Jessica Shelton is second. Nathan Hudson is third. Fourth is Brayson Mitchell. Fifth is Alex Ferranti. Sixth is James McLeod. Seventh is Danny Wells. Eighth, Tim Fiegel. Ninth, Dylan Poteet. And rounding out the top 10 is Seth Cole. The rest of the top 15 are William Brock, Charles Sanford, Chris Darlington, Cody Lamas, and Brett Kenningberg. Pace car makes its way back on the pit road, and we're about to get back underway here at Charlotte. The green flag is now back out. And Levi McIntyre is in fact slow, so he's going to have to do what he can and hopefully doesn't cause another big accident. Kyle Matthews, if he's fast enough, he can get his lap back. And oh man, Levi McIntyre, he's holding up the entire inside row. And oh man, he almost nearly gets turned by Charles Sanford. Oh man, that was really close there. We're going to have to keep an eye on the 60 car. And yes, he nearly gets turned by the 34. He's holding up that entire inside row, but he just got forced to the outside. But oh man, he may hold up just a couple of more drivers. And oh man, James Qualls, he gets stuck in a 3-wide situation. Oh man, that really could have been disastrous there. But it looks like that they're all going to get around the 60 just fine. But unfortunately, Sky Commons and Aaron Macklin, they all get hauled up by the 60 as we're headed back to the front. It looks like Jessica Shelton still trying to do whatever she can to catch that 48 car. But Nathan Ormond, ever since the race started, he has not let that lead go. But he has a bumper full of that number 20 car. How about we go to the rear camera to see what's on that bumper. And oh man, Jessica Shelton's trying to come with a full head of steam. She's going to try to do what she can to try to get to the inside of that 48. As you can see just how close that she's riding all over the back of him. Can't quite do it yet. I mean, if she has a decent run, she could get to the inside of him. But for right now, she's just trying to do whatever she can. She nearly had a chance to move right there. And oh man, it looks like that Nathan Ormond got a better run out of the exit of turn 4 that time. And oh man, right now it's a 2-car breakaway as Nathan Hudson sits comfortably in 6th. James McLeod finds himself back in the 4th position as Kyle Matthews, he's stuck on the outside, still a lap down, so if a caution comes out, he's going to be back on that inside row. As Seth Cole, he's going to try to do what he can to get around his teammate. Seth Cole running the patriotic colors of the Liberty College campus as he now goes to the outside with Brayson Mitchell. He's about to get passed by Danny Wells. And here comes Dylan Poteet coming up behind him as well. As Poteet, he's going to try to do what he can to try to turn his season around. But right now, Poteet, he lost 4 spots last week as he just fell outside of the top 10. And back up to the front as we see Brayson Mitchell trying to get to the inside of Seth Cole. And oh man, we're trying to have our first battle for the lead here. We're trying to have our first battle for the lead, but Nathan Ormond, he's going to try to do what he can to fight back on that outside. And he does. And oh man, he still got that outside run. Shelton had a chance, but that 48 is just too fast on the outside. Oh man, Jessica Shelton, she got a decent run on the inside that time, as we're still going green, as it looks like Kyle Matthews. Oh man, you think he'd be racing up here for a win, but no, he's just racing hard, trying to get back on the lead lap. And once again, Jessica Shelton, she's all over the back bumper of Nathan Ormond here, as we're having a little bit of a breakaway here as the field is starting to scatter. Jessica Shelton trying to do everything she can to stick with that 48, but here comes Nathan Hudson. He wants a piece of this now. And oh man, now he goes to the inside of Jessica Shelton to try to turn this into the Nathan and Nathan show, as Nathan Hudson, he sits and oh man, he just got around the number 20 for second. Now we have to see if Jessica Shelton can get a run on the outside, and I don't think she can. The 6 has cleared the number 20 for second. As we head back a little bit, Alex Franti gets around James McLeod for the 4th position. He wants to try to get this. He wants to try to get his 2nd win of the season. He won earlier back at Bristol Dirt, where he won the first heat race at Bristol Dirt. And oh man, it looks like Jessica Shelton, she's starting to drop back a couple of spots, and she just fell back to the 3rd position as Alex Franti now takes 3rd. But now we have Nathan Hudson trying to do what he can to chase down that 48 car. I'm trying to remember the last time we even saw the number 6 in victory lane. I believe the last time we saw the 6 in victory lane was way back in season 2 when William Duncan drove the 6, and William Duncan, he eventually became the season 2 champion. And oh man, now Nathan Hudson, he's trying to get all over the back bumper of his fellow Nathan, and he just goes to the extreme high side. And oh man, I think that means that we're having green flag pit stops. Yes, we are. Nathan Ormond surrenders the lead as the 2 Hendrick Motorsports drivers come down pit road, as Dougie Shears comes along as well. But now that's gonna hand the lead over to Nathan Hudson. So I believe the pit window is between 10 to 13 laps. So pit strategy will definitely be a factor in this race. Now Kyle Matthews, he's on a different pit strategy from everyone else, or he may be on the same as these guys. And yes, the leaders are now coming down. Nathan Hudson is bringing down a few drivers, but we have even more drivers staying out, and that's Dylan Poteet and Seth Cole. And oh no, the caution's out. Oh no! Oh man, we had a wreck, and this might screw up the field a little bit, which I hope not. But we have a caution somewhere, and I'm trying to see like what exactly happened. Oh, there's some rear damage to Sky Commons. I don't know if that was part of it. I don't think he had damage before. And oh man, Charles Sanford, he's got some rear damage. And there's a little bit of front end damage to Ron Acosta, but I think that was from the first accident. Oh man, I don't know. I have no idea what brought out our 2nd caution, but the only other driver I saw that had new damage was Charles Sanford. So we're gonna have to get on board with the 34, as Dylan Poteet is our race leader, but I don't know if he's gonna be the leader once they finish the pit stops. But let's head to the replays and see what happened to bring our 2nd caution of the night. Here's how they brought out our 2nd caution. It was just in the cycle of green flag pit stops. When the drivers go to the extreme high side, that means that some drivers are going to go to the inside and get close to pit road, and they were just trying to get out of the way. And unfortunately, Charles Sanford, he gets hooked by the 11 of Cody Lamas, and he spins out right in front of Stephen Cola in the 88, and he hits the safety barrier. Now, fortunately, Colin didn't hit the 34, but we have a couple of unlucky victims in this, and one of them being Ron Acosta. I did notice some extra damage on the 78 as he just hits the back of the 34, and Christina Bell in the 40, she also gets into it as Charles Sanford nearly flips. Sky Commons had to slam on the brakes to avoid hitting the 34, but that made him get clobbered by his teammate Zachary Fitzwater in the 4. So I don't think Tony Stewart's going to be too happy with those two, thanks to Fitzwater's bonehead move. I mean, one of your drivers is a 2-time winner and he does something dumb like that. But unfortunately, Charles Sanford, he already took his 34 back to the garage area, so he's unfortunately going to be done for the night. And that is not what he needed, because he sits second in the standings, our winner from Rockingham. And here we are back at Charlotte. We're going to restart on lap number 26. And just like I thought would happen is going to happen. The field is going to be jumbled up like crazy because we had a caution while pit stops were going on. And we only have a couple more drivers who are now out of this race. There are Zachary Fitzwater and Charles Sanford. Now, our leader, once we get back underway, is actually going to be Nathan Hudson. He took the lead after green flag pit stops. Now, Michael Normans, Jonathan Zorlin, Simon Oscon, and Alex Franti, they're at the tail end of the field. So they're not a lap down unless Nathan Hudson can get around them. But second place is Jessica Shelton. Third place is Brayson Mitchell. Fourth is Brett Kettingberg. Fifth is William Brock. Sixth is Joshua Osborne. Seventh is Cody Lamas. Eighth, Allison Rain. Ninth is Nathan Orman, who dropped all the way back to ninth. And rounding out the top 10 is Dougie Shears. The rest of the top 15 are Dylan Poteet, Seth Cole, Chris Dollarton, Tim Fiegel, and excuse me, Stephen Colin. Anyway, the pace car makes its way onto the field. Now, the drivers in front of the 6 and the drivers on the inside line, they all need a quick caution to get back on the lead lap. But Nathan Hudson, he's going to try to do what he can to get around all this lap traffic as the green flag is now back out. And oh my, Christina Bell, she's incredibly slow. She's holding out that entire inside row. And Nathan Hudson, he wastes little time to get on the inside of Alex Ferranti and Jonathan Zorlin. Oh man, we're gonna have to keep an eye on all these guys here. And oh man, it looks like Jessica Shelton, she wants to try to take the lead away from the 6th car. And she's trying to get the help of Brayson Mitchell, but just like Nathan Orman, now Nathan Hudson, he's trying to get a run on the outside, and he's trying to hang on to that lead. Nathan Hudson's going to try to do what he can to give Roush their second win of the season. Or should I say their second car in the victory lane, I should say. As, oh man, now Nathan Hudson, he's going to try to use the lap traffic as drafting partners to try to get away from the 20 and the 6, but I don't know how long that's going to last, as Brayson Mitchell, he's going to stick with Jessica Shelton as they put Simon Oscon a lap down. Brett Kettingberg, after losing his teammate, now he sits comfortably in the 4th position. William Brock settles in 5th, and now we see Nathan Orman, he climbs himself back up to the 7th position, and he's trying to get around Allison Rain for 6, which he does. That 48 is fast, but can he do what he can to try to get up to that lead? And here comes the driver who actually took out Charles Sanford, Cody Lamas. Now he gets around Allison Rain. Allison Rain has no help on that outside. Now he's gonna try to do what he can to chase down that 48 car. As Dougie Shears, our winner from Talladega, now he wants to try to get around the 7 car, and he's got the help of Joshua Osborne, our winner from Atlanta, as he goes to the inside now of the number 7. Can't quite do it yet. I think Allison finally found her grooves and try to do what she can to hang on to that outside line, as she will settle herself in the 8th position. Headed back up to the front, and oh man, Jessica Shelton, she's been sitting comfortably in 2nd place almost the entire race. And oh man, she is all over the back bumper of that 6, and oh, she could have turned him right there, but she wisely backs off as Hudson continues to lead. Brayson Mitchell, I believe he's just biding his time until he finds the right move, and the caution's back out. Oh man, the caution is back out, and I believe that will put I believe that'll put I believe that may put Michael Norman back on the lead lap. I think it will. But I'm trying to see, like, what happened to bring out a caution. And oh no, Tim Fiegel 16th in standings, and James Qualls, oh man. Something happened with the 19 and the 70. Oh man, I don't know if Fiegel is going to be happy. And oh man, Christina Bell is in it again, and points leader Jonathan Zorlin, as well as Dougie Shears. Oh man, I was just looking at Dougie Shears not too long ago. Oh man, and as you see from the ticker, Tim Fiegel has already taken his 19 back to the garage area, so he's done. Oh man, as we just passed the halfway point, let's take a look and see what brought out our third caution of the night. It seems like we have a caution every 10 laps. Well, here's having to brought out our third caution. I believe, like, I just, like, went back to the front of the pack when this happened. But heading into turn 3, it looks like Joshua Osborne gets loose, and he gets right into the left rear quarter panel of the 83. And Dougie Shears, he taps the safer barrier, and he ends up spinning in front of the pack. And so many drivers avoided him, but unfortunately, points leader Jonathan Zorlin wasn't so lucky, as he just slams hard into the 83, as the 83 just spins out, as you see the black smoke coming from the hood of the 43 up ahead. And here comes James Qualls into the picture, and oh yeah, there's the contact there, as James Qualls gets into it. He goes to the outside, and Tim Fiegel, oh man, Tim, he's trying to dive down to avoid the 70, but he just didn't have enough time, and Christina Bell runs into the 43 as well. And Ryan Acosta gives a little tap to the 43. This is the third caution that Ryan Acosta has been a part of, and he's somehow still running. Like, I don't know what's going on. McIntyre also gets into the right side of the 78, but the hardest losses here is going to be Tim Fiegel and most likely James Qualls in the number 70 back there. We're going to have to ride on board with both of these drivers. Here we are with the onboard camera of the number 70 Ford Travel Camaro of James Qualls. You can see the initial contact from both the 83 and the 19. Now here we are riding on board with the number 19 Bass Pro Shops Patriotic Camry of Tim Fiegel. As you can see, Tim Fiegel trying to make that hard left to avoid the number 70, but unfortunately, he just couldn't get out of the way in time. He just slams right into the 70. And here we are back at Charlotte. We're well past the halfway point of this race, and we're almost down to half the field. We have a few more drivers who are now out of this race. They are Jonathan Zorlin, Christina Bell, Levi McIntyre, Tim Fiegel, James Qualls, Dougie Shears, and Jake Rogers. And yes, I was right. That last caution put Kyle Matthews and Michael Norman back on the lead lap. But with how NR is, they're at the front of the pack for some reason instead of the back. But anyway, our leader after pit stops is still Nathan Hudson. Second is Brayson Mitchell. Third is Jessica Shelton. Fourth is Brett Kenningberg. Fifth is William Brock. Sixth, Seth Cole. Seventh, Joshua Osborne. Eighth, Chris Dollarton. Ninth is Cole Deaver. And rounding out the top 10 is Cody Lamas. The rest of the top 15 are Danny Wells, Stephen Colin, Dylan Poteet, teammate James McLeod, and Aaron Macklin with a damaged 98. And the last two drivers are actually Allison Rain and Nathan Ormond. Nathan Ormond had to extend to stay on pit road. That's why he's all the way in the back. But anyway, the pace car is heading down pit road. Now, if these guys can get one more quick caution, Kyle Matthews and Michael Norman could be back in this race, as the green flag is now back out at Charlotte. We have just over 25 laps to go. If Nathan Hudson can get around all this lap traffic, he could try to put these guys back a lap down. But that's easier said than done, as he now sits on the high side, stuck behind Michael Norman, as we now see Brayson Mitchell all over the back bumper of him. Oh man, but Jessica Shelton, she fell back to the third position, as Brayson Mitchell, he's still trying to get behind that 6 car. And oh man, now Shelton, she moves to the inside. She's trying to use the lap traffic of her teammate Cole Daly. And oh man, there was also some contact between Nathan Hudson and Michael Norman. You want to be careful there. But anyway, as I was saying, Jessica Shelton, she was trying to use her teammate as a drafting partner to try to get around that 6 car, but she can't quite do it yet. She's gonna try to do whatever she can to try to get around that 6 car. Can't quite do it yet though. And oh man, and Nathan Hudson tried to get back on the inside, but Jessica Shelton was there. And oh man, she really needs some help to try to get that lead, but I don't think she can do it. She doesn't have the help, but she's fighting on that inside. And oh man, Cole Daly drops back down to help her, and I do believe that she will get that lead. And Nathan Hudson still fights back on the outside, and nope, Jessica Shelton will lead that lap. And now she has a bumper full of William Brock, as she has finally cleared the number 6, as the 20 takes the lead. Oh man, I'm trying to remember the last time the 20 was even in victory lane. I could be wrong, but it may be all the way back in season 2 of Darlington. I don't know, I'm not sure. It's been so long since I've seen the 20 in victory lane, but she's going to try to do what she can, and with the help of Cole Daly, she's going to try to protect it. But William Brock out of Sega Motorsports, he is all over the back bumper, and oh man, he tries to go to the inside, but Jessica Shelton, she is not giving up that lead that easy. Now here comes Brett Kennenberg in the 38. He finds himself trying to get the 3rd position away from Brayson Mitchell. Now we see William Brock trying to go to the inside for the lead here. Oh man, side-by-side battle going on for the lead right now, as William Brock, I don't know if he led that lap. No, he did not. Jessica Shelton still led it, but he gets the lead now, as Shelton, she gets held up by Simon Oscott in the 91. William Brock now, he sits comfortably in the lead right now, as I'm trying to get rid of this lag, which I do apologize for. But anyway, William Brock out of Sega Motorsports, now he currently sits, and oh no, the caution's back out. Oh man, I was literally about to say, and has it been, yep, it's been 10 laps. Oh my god, it seems like we're gonna have a caution every 10 laps here, but that's good news for the 77 and the 21, as they will go to the back of the field. And I do believe that, and yep, I was right. That put Alex Franti and a couple of others back on the lead lap. But now I need to see what happened to bring out this caution. And it may have been Danny Wells. He's got some right side damage to his body armor 12. And oh man, he just hit the back of the 98. I don't know what that was about, but it may have involved him and Aaron Macklin. I'm not sure. But oh man, never say never in the NASCAR SEGA Cup, because you never know what will happen. But anyway, as William Brock leads these drivers down to have more pit stops, let's see what happened to bring out this caution. Here's happened to bring out this caution. These guys were trying to get around the slow car of Sky Commons, and Danny Wells, he just gets tapped in his left rear quarter panel by Dylan Poteet. And and he just gets loose, and he actually saved it a little bit, but he actually just taps the safer barrier, and he looks like he can keep going. And I think he tried to retaliate against Pote, and unfortunately his wheels locked up and he spun around right into the turn 4 wall. But I do believe he can still keep going because he just got right side damage. But look how lucky that Nathan Orman was. Just look how close he was to hitting the 12. And here comes the 98 interview, and oh, that really could have been disastrous. Just imagine if the 98 would have clobbered the 12 there. Oh man, but yeah, I don't think Danny's gonna be too happy with Dylan with the way he raced him. But both drivers, they can still keep going. All Wells needs is some new tires, and he should still be in this thing. But let's head back to live action. Here we are back at Charlotte. We're going to restart on lap number 45. We're going to have 16 laps to go here, and no drivers have retired out of the race. Now, once again, NR being NR, we have these guys who are at the tail end of the lead lap, and you got to be kidding me. Kyle Matthews literally just got himself back on the lead lap, and he just blew his engine. I kid you not, this just happened live. Oh no. Only in my league where you see drivers just randomly blow their engines. But now the question is he's going to be able to get like to pit road because of where he is? I don't know. But anyway, once we get back underway, William Brock is our race leader. Second is Brett Kenningberg. Third is Brayson Mitchell. Fourth is Chris Darlington. Fifth now is Nathan Hudson. Sixth is Jessica Shelton. Seventh is Seth Cole. Eighth is Cody Lamas. Ninth is Stephen Collett. And rounding out the top 10 is Joshua Osborne. The rest of the top 15 are Cole Deaver, Aaron Macklin, Allison Rain, Danny Wells, and Nathan Orman. And the last two drivers are the Tweenix drivers, Dylan Pote and James McLeod. But anyway, the pace car is back on pit road, and unfortunately for Kyle Matthews, he is going to retire out of the race as the green flag is now back out here at Charlotte. I swear this always happens to me. I'm trying to figure out, like, and it turned out it was a piston problem. So unfortunately, Matthews, he'll have to finish this race in the 25th position. But anyway, as we head back to the action here, William Brock, he's hanging on to that lead, but now we see Brett Kenningberg trying to use Matt McIntyre as a drafting buddy to get a run on the outside, which he does do. Wow, Brett Kenningberg, he just took the lead on the outside, but William Brock, he's going to be fighting back on the inside with the help of Brayson Mitchell. Oh man, Brett Kenningberg, he's trying to represent for Front Row Motorsports since his teammate Charles Sanford retired out, but he's going to have to get around William Brock first. As I was trying to say before the last caution came out, William Brock ended up getting involved in that accident with Dustin Stoller last week at Kentucky, and he would love to try to bring a victory home for Sega Motorsports. He'll be the second driver to do so since Joshua Osborne did win at Atlanta earlier this season. But oh man, he has a bumper full of a driver who already has a victory here in the NASCAR SEGA Cup. Brayson Mitchell in the 41, he won at Ricky Raceway, and oh man, he's just all over the back of that 42. Let's actually ride on board with the 41. Brayson Mitchell running the Energizer Inspired paint scheme. He's going to try to do what he can to get around that 42, but the laps are winding down. Well, you know, it's almost been another 10 laps, so we're probably going to have another caution soon, which I hope we don't, as they're trying to do what they can to put Cole Daly back a lap down. But Brayson Mitchell, he's going to try to do what he can to try to catch up to that 42 and take the lead away. Doesn't quite have the run yet. He's going to try to do what he can to get it. As we head further back, we see Nathan Hudson all over the back bumper of Brayson Mitchell, and we're having a battle for 4th place between Chris Darlington and Seth Cole, which he does get. Brett Kennenberg falls back to the 6th position. Cody Lama sits comfortably in 7th place. Joshua Osborne sits 8th. Stephen Cole in 9th, and Nathan Ormer, who dominated this race early, he's all the way back in the 10th position. And Dylan Pulte, he's lost the pack a little bit. I don't know if that 31 has a problem, as we're just about to hit 10 laps to go, and I'm trying to make sure we don't have another issue here. As we head back to the front, it's still all about William Brock, and he's got Matt McIntyre in between him and 2nd place. And as Brayson Mitchell, he's starting to drop like a rock. He's he's got a little bit of rear damage. I don't know if someone hit the back of his car, which is making him lose speed, but he is dropping like a rock as he's stuck behind Simon Oscon, as Cody Lamas is getting behind him. I don't know what happened to the 41, but this is not what it needs to happen, as William Brock now goes to the outside. But now that's possibly going to open the door for Chris Darlington, as William Brock, he's still trying to keep Matt McIntyre between him and 2nd place, as Nathan Hudson, he's going to try to do what he can to fight on that outside. And he's trying to do everything he can to get around that 42. Can't quite do it yet, but we're having a steady green flag run here. We're not having another caution come out. And these guys are running dangerously close here, but the laps are indeed running out. We're still going green. I would love to have this race end under the green flag, as Sky Thomas almost dives down in front of the 42. That really would have been disastrous, but Sky Thomas, he really needs to get out of the way of the race leaders here, as both Brock and Hudson get around the 10. Now we have Chris Darlington sitting in 3rd, but he needs to get around Matt McIntyre to try to even have a chance to go for the lead. As Seth Cole, he now goes to the outside here. This is one of the few tracks in NR where the outside can be fast, as we now see Brett Kennenberg getting behind Cole Daly in the 18. As right now, Cole Daly, I'm trying to find him. He sits 22nd right now, a lap down. And now we see Nathan Hudson trying to go to the inside. He's trying to use the lap car of Matt McIntyre as we got a spin. And Nathan Hudson just hit him. This is under the apron though. Is the caution out though? I don't know if the caution is out. And yes, it is. The caution is out. But Nathan Hudson, and they're still wrecking. Brayson Mitchell and Cole Deaver. So much happened. And well, 4th time is the charm, but I think Acosta's finally done, and unfortunately he took Cole Deaver with him. I swear, you only see stuff like this happen in the NASCAR SEGA Cup, but it was over 10 laps this time, but now I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if we're going to have a green-white checker or what, but I don't know if we're going to have either a green-white checker or a one-lap shootout once this gets back underway. But we need to take a look and see what happened to bring out our caution, as pit stops were, in fact, happening. Okay, here's how to bring out this caution, and I can't believe I didn't even see this happen, because I was, looking at the leaders. Heading into turn 1, right behind Brayson Mitchell, Cody Lamas ends up blowing an engine. So this is the 2nd driver to blow an engine here tonight at Charlotte, and it was just near at the end of the race. And he blew an engine right in front of Nathan Ormond, and unfortunately for the 11, it doesn't end there. As Cody is getting down, he's getting down under the apron and lets Nathan Ormond pass him. It literally doesn't end there. Now, what happened with the 11 as he was going to pit road? I actually saw this live, so I'm trying to fast forward it a little bit, and I'm trying to get to the spot. And right here, Cody, he's trying to get to pit road, and Michael Norman, he was going down to the apron to take his pit stop, and unfortunately he hits the back of the 11 car, and he spins out right in front of the leaders who are also coming down. Nathan Hudson, let's bring it back a little bit because I was going too fast. Right there, he gets hit by Michael Norman, and unfortunately Nathan Hudson, he was literally about to take green flag pit stops, and he gets into the 11. Sky Commons also gets into the back of the 6, and Simon Oscon, he just I guess he wanted to be a part of it too, as he hits the 11 also. And unfortunately for Cody, he was pretty much done already. And Nathan Hudson, he's trying to do what he can to turn his car around, but he's in a horrible spot. At this point, the caution's already out. He should have just got back onto the track, but I see he's already past the commitment cone, so that means he had to come down pit road. But now, up ahead, this happened. Danny Wells, he at this point, the caution is already out. Now, Danny Wells, he gets into the right quarter panel of Cole Deaver, and he spins him out right in front of Brayson Mitchell. The 3 and the 41 just turned straight into the safer barrier wall. And Brayson Mitchell, he had a strong car all day, and to see him get taken out like that while the caution is already out, that's got to be gut wrenching for the 41 team. As Cole Deaver, he's trying to do what he can to turn his car around. Brayson Mitchell, he tries to go to the high side to get around the 3, as he tries to do his best to try to get himself back going. But as he's trying to get back going here he comes to wreck the day, as Ryan Acosta just slams hard into the back of the 3. And this is literally the fourth caution that Ryan Acosta has been a part of, and he literally goes out with a slam as he takes himself out, as well as Cole Deaver. So yeah, I don't think Cole Deaver's going to be too happy with that 78 car. And here we are back at Charlotte, hopefully for the final time here tonight. And we have just a few more drivers who are now out of this race. They are Cody Lamas, Nathan Hudson, Ryan Acosta, and Cole Deaver. Now our leader, once we get back underway, will be Chris Dolleton. Second is Seth Cole. Third is Joshua Osborne. Fourth, William Brock. Fifth is James McLeod. Sixth is Danny Wells. Seventh is Stephen Colin. Eighth now is actually wow. Oh, sorry, I couldn't see him. Ninth is Nathan Orman. Ninth is Jessica Shelton. And rounding out the top 10 is Allison Rain. The rest of the top 15 are Aaron Macklin with a destroyed car, Brayson Mitchell, who is still in this thing, Alex Ferranti, Brett Kennenberg, and Dylan Poteet. Okay, now we're not having a one-lap shootout like we did last week. We're actually having a green-white checker. Can Chris Dolleton do it? Can he outlast the veteran Seth Cole and his fellow rookie Joshua Osborne as the pace car makes his way back on the pit road here? And we're going green flag racing for the final time here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The green-white checker showdown is underway. The green flag is now out. Now, hopefully these lap machines don't get into the way, as Joshua Osborne, he tries to go down to the inside to get around Seth Cole, but Seth Cole slams the door on that one machine. Sega Motorsports now running third and fourth right now. And Chris Dolleton, he's trying to do everything he can. But oh man, here comes Seth Cole with a charge. Oh man, Seth Cole, he's coming down pit road. He can't make it. Wow, he could not make it on fuel, and we're coming to the white flag. Chris Darlington, and he has 2 Sega Motorsports teammates coming up right behind him. These two need to work together if they want to catch that 82. But it may be too little too late for them. If he can make it the rest of the way. And oh man, and we're coming down turns 3 and 4 for the final time. He's on the inside. I don't know if he can make it. Yes, he can make it, but Joshua Osborne can't. Coming out of turns 3 and 4 and into the tri-oval, Chris Darlington, the Texas native, captures his very first Sega Cup Series victory as he will take home the Coca-Cola 600. Taking over from the retired James Silverfox after the 7th race of the season, the Texas native Chris Darlington, he wins here tonight and captures the Coca-Cola 600, bringing one home for Red Bull Racing. Oh man, what a finish. And it's said that Joshua Osborne retired in 8th place, but I assume he ran out of gas. But that's one way to end up finishing a race here. As for Coke 600, race number 15, and this race is in the books. Chris Darlington, the rookie taking over for James Silverfox, brings another win home for Red Bull Racing, as now both drivers in the Red Bull Racing stable have won for this season. William Brock will bring home a nice 2nd place finish here after he wrecked out last week at Kentucky. Stephen Cola ends up 3rd. Danny Wells, despite him having a bit of a damaged race car, he ends up 4th place. Nathan Orman dominated this race in the first half, but he'll have to bring home for 5th. Alex Ferranti, Hendrick Motorsports teammate, spent a majority of the race a lap down, and he rebounds for a top 10 finish. Brayson Mitchell, after that incident with him and Cole Deaver and Danny Wells, he ends up still with a top 10 in 7th place. Joshua Osborne couldn't make it on fuel for the rest of the way, so he'll have to settle for 8th place. Allison Rain ends up 9th. Good run in the Spire Motorsports stable considering what happened to her 2 teammates. And we have Seth Cole in the top 10. How about that? 3 out of the 4 Hendrick Motorsports cars finished in the top 10. Unfortunately, Joshua Mudd was the odd one out here. James McLeod ends up 11th, and Jessica Shelton ends up 12th after the strong run she had here tonight. Aaron Macklin ends up 13th. Brett Kennenberg ends up 14th, and Dylan Pote rounds out with a top 15, 1 lap down. Then we have Michael Norman, Simon Oscon, Sky Commons, Cole Daly, and finally Matt McIntyre as the last running car, 1 lap down with a top 20. And then from 21st on down to 42nd, literally half the field, we have Cole Deaver, Ryan Acosta, Nathan Hudson after his strong run, so he'll have to settle for a 23rd place finish. Cody Lamas, Kyle Matthews, Jake Rogers, Dougie Shears, James Qualls, Tim Fiegel, Levi McIntyre, Christina Bell, Jonathan Zorlin, Charles Sanford, Zachary Fitzwater, Mitchell Collins, Steven Gonzalez, Alex Drayton, Brandon Crasta, Dylan Young, Joshua Mudd, Dustin Stuller, and RJ Bishop. Well, race fans, that does it here for Charlotte. We're finally done here. The next time the NASCAR SEGA Cup Series is back on YouTube, we're going to venture way out west for our first road course race of the season. We're going all the way to Sonoma Raceway for the Toyota Save Mart 350, so don't forget to stay tuned for that. We're going to have a crap ton of hometown drivers from California, hopefully to try to win there. But congratulations one last time to Chris Darlington for capturing his very first SEGA Cup Series victory of the season, and we'll see you at Sonoma.